market perspective in India in reference to customer relationship management, or what we call a CRM, I think the CRM solutions market in India has been growing pretty steadily over the years. I think predominantly due to the adoption of cloud-based solutions or as-a-service solutions in terms the customers moving more and more towards that model of solutions has fueled that growth over the last few years. And I think the need for the businesses to streamline their customer management processes as such have resulted in that growth. A lot of the organizations seems like they're reevaluating how they deal with their customer information because CRM essentially stores all of their customer information. From what I understand, also the CRM software market is projected to grow at about a CAGR of 18%, and then expected to reach somewhere about 145 billion by 2027, which is a pretty significant improvement in the market if you look at it from a CRM perspective, going on in India, and it seems to continue to make progress towards being able to reach that kind of figure by 2027, right? And then the CRM platforms have evolved. Actually, a number of CRM platforms have really taken a lot of the time to be able to evolve in terms of becoming robust than their previous iterations have actually evolved to be able to address the as a service models that people have been asking for. So hence it's not really very surprising that India actually shows up as one of the leading market segments in this area beyond China and Japan, which are ahead of India in that sense, from a CRM revenue perspective, right? I also feel that the market is driven by ever increasing focus on customer experience, especially in the recent years. Everything is about the personalized and seamless experience that customers do receive as they use the CRM tools, and what communication happens to the end client, for example, right? So this has led to a lot of the adoption of some of the latest technologies like AI-powered decision making in CRM solutions that can help businesses not only just analyze the customer data, but really garner insights out of that data, as well as be able to predict future actions and design those actions for customer engagement and satisfaction, right? I think these are primary drivers that are driving the adoption or the growth in the CRM solutions from an India market perspective, right? Some of these new technologies, as in reference to artificial intelligence, especially generative AI as part of that, machine learning, natural language processing, all of that coming into usage within these CRM systems. They're opening up a lot of interesting avenues, as in across businesses in this across various verticals for that matter, in CRM. So I think hopefully that gives you a good summary of where the solutions are and how CRM solutions are growing in our Indian market. I think I talked a little bit about it. There are several emerging technologies, I should say, that are kind of reshaping the way businesses approach customer relationship management fundamentally. Some of the latest technologies, to talk about, one is artificial intelligence, where AI is being used to analyze customer data. So obviously every CRM system has customer data. And what is actually the technology gives us the capability today is to be able to, really garner insights from that data. Before now, we had the data, but we didn't have a way to be able to analyze that data effectively to provide insights about customer behavior, customer preferences, and customer trends. essentially to be able to even determine from a future perspective, as far as you could predict what this, to the most part, what a customer may want or may like, and then so you can actually tailor make your interaction, to that particular client, and so eventually end up being able to do one-to-one engagement, right? The other technology I would say is chatbots. I think it's kind of mushroomed as a technology. Chatbots are being used to provide instant customer support in a lot of cases, and what assistance, first level of assistance that a customer might need. They can actually be integrated with essentially social media platforms for messaging, for querying, what have you, to provide quick and efficient service to their customers. There are various also ways of being able to build these chatbots, right? In different mediums, like whether they could be email chatbots, there could be interactive chatbots on a web, they could be voice, chatbots, what have you, in terms of where, various aspects of technology being used in that context, right? And then we can talk, a little bit more about that as we go down. That is the second piece of technology. The third piece of technology I would probably talk about is the virtual and augmented reality. I think this is an evolving space, but from a immersive customer experience perspective, this is a great way to provide that view, right? For example, businesses can use virtual reality to give their customers a 360 view of their products or their experience, right? Whether somebody is coming into a bank, whether somebody probably tries to buy a, in the real estate market, or as much as being able to show 360-degree view of of any kind of a product that is physically tangible or what have you, right? How do you leverage the virtual and augmented reality to be able to do that without a person being physically present there, right? I think there is more and more of that metaverse concept and then virtual and augmented reality that is being used and then driving some of that evolution. And last but not the least is the Internet of Things, right? IoT, I think, is being used to collect a lot of data that is discrete, from various devices and then sensors that are all across to better understand custom behavior and and their preferences, what their behaviors are and what their preferences are. That really results in being able to understand the insights from there, and to be able to predict, what future actions could be, right? So this data can be used to personalize those customer interactions and improve customer service. Those are probably four major areas, I would say, in terms of what latest technologies are kind of reshaping the CRM solutions today. Now, if you look at as far as some of the use cases or what have you, that you talked about or that you asked about, right? Automation is one use case, which is very common in CRM functionality, by automating any repetitive manual tasks, by incorporating some features such as whether it is marketing campaign or lead assignments or social media management, what have you, or another, big use case is email integration. And let's say, you are getting a ton of email through requests, through a particular channel that comes into your CRM system. There are now email integrations that can, with the advent of natural language processing and what have you, there is a way to be able to even process these emails and automatically create cases and solve and then route them to the corresponding or responsible people without really any manual interactions, if you will, right? That's a couple of use cases. Something specific to Pega, for example, in terms of what we offer in our customer engagement offerings and stuff. Pega Infinity, which is a platform, has really leveraged the generative AI to accelerate workflow for application development, right? Within our product called App Studio that is part of the platform of Pega Infinity. It's a tool where people can build user experience, their data management capabilities, their case design, and everything, in App Studio. It's essentially you can author your application through App Studio, right? That's a big use case where we offer from a CRM perspective a way to be able to leverage some of these technologies to make it easier for citizen developers, to make it easier for developers to build applications, right? Some of the other use cases that leverage generative AI as a technology, that we are experimenting with, the building with, into our Pega Infinity 2023 release, is also the ability to be able to summarize cases, the ability to be able to query like a question and answer. You're leveraging technologies like ChatGPT and what have you, right? So those are some of the use cases in terms of how technology is leveraged in CRM, solutions, as well as how you could leverage some of the brand, as it comes together, in CRM solutions today. Great questions, right? In terms of what I was referring to earlier, how they can actually leverage this technology, in building. So I think if you think about it, probably gone are the days where you would have a set of marketing campaigns and you would send them to a list of people, blasting it out in a particular channel or whatever, right? Now, the use of artificial intelligence in CRM, along with data analytics and what have you, with the AI integrated chatbots or conversational AI, and with machine learning and what have you, you can actually tailor make those those communications to specific people, for that matter. I'll give you an example in terms of what we do within our one-to-one customer engagement offering, is that we leverage these technologies to be able to really understand and build using predictive analytics. Let's say you have a set of marketing campaigns and you have a set of people. Now our software actually looks at what marketing campaign is suitable for which customer. So it is not a one-size-fits-all thing. It is actually custom made in the sense that this is probably the most probable conversion of a customer, of a lead to a customer, right? In terms of being able to send that out. So the usage of such technology now brings in the capability to be able to actually go from like a one-size-fits-all to a tailor-made or one-to-one engagement, with their customers. That's really what CRM solutions are using today to be able to leverage, the technology in being able to reach their customers, right? There are also, various other ways in terms of being able to optimize their solutions. Like I talked about email as an example, in terms of incoming channels. And then thirdly, you're able to provide. So, what some of the new technologies, and then even like the Pega Infinity that I talked about, allows us to do is to be able to reach out to these, clients one-to-one in the channel that they want to consume it in. Like, for example, I may prefer, be able to consume it on a handheld device, like a mobile device. Somebody may prefer, a tablet. Somebody may prefer a laptop. Somebody may prefer email. So, it also understands, what kind of channels, that somebody would prefer and what their preference is. And simultaneously, in real time, it can make those decisions and then push, those communications across the board to all of the customers for that matter, right? So, it's tailor-made, to them. Lastly, automation has always been a management, so that will continue to have an impact on CRM, right? So to that end, it will help for customers, to use CRM solutions to leverage their communication to the end clients. Stuff certainly is hyper competitive. There is no question of that. I think the success of businesses largely, if you think about it in terms of CRM and it's how do businesses build their brands or what have you. The success of any business largely depends on their ability to attract, retain, and satisfy their customers. Right. I think those are the three aspects that it revolves around, right? So CRM enables businesses to manage their interactions with their customers and to understand their needs and preferences, right? By understanding their needs and preferences, they're able, they can do it. Hence, the brand and the CRM solution in itself is pretty, important to be able to survive in that kind of a market. If you look at the CRM tools, you can look at it as a kind of a tool where you end up trapping most of the most of the customer data, right? And that's a great place to be in, because you have the stickiness in terms of when you have that data, to be able to manage that data and have a chance to be able to retain, those customers, right? That is really one area where business, marketing, and sales has to come together for an organization to be successful, for a CRM solution to be successful, right? That CRM system is crucial for companies to be able to manage their customer relationships efficiently and effectively, leading to, perhaps that leads to the customer retention that I talked about, or the satisfaction rates, what have you, and increasing both the top line as well as the bottom line in terms of return on investment as such. Here's again, I was talking earlier about our customer decision hub product that allows our clients to personalize those interactions with customers one-to-one, right? The usage of some of these technologies to be able to design and execute such actions in real time. Customers' data, can actually be managed and stored centrally. Customer information such as, they will have access to the contact details and then their preferences, and then these can be accessed and analyzed, to be able to make it easier to determine what engagement you want to build to which customers, right? And companies can, with the leveraging these CRM tools, they can actually streamline their sales processes, automate tasks such as lead capture or lead nurturing, or the conversion of leads to sales and what have you. Those can actually help in terms of how they manage their sales process in itself. And last but not least, the CRM system can provide valuable insights into sales and marketing data. Again, things in terms of being able to provide dashboards such as conversion rates, customer acquisition costs, and then campaign ROIs and what have you, to realize effectiveness of anything that they're running through a CRM system, and then working through those projects, right? And that's really what I would say, that's how important CRM is in this, as you call hyper competitive market, as such. I think it's a great opportunity for some of these CRM solutions to play a very important role to allow customers to be competitive in that market. We talked a little bit about it in the earlier question. I think the usage of artificial intelligence in CRM, I think is going to be a big big change in the days to come, right? I think we've already started. In fact, as I talked about, some of our solutions already using artificial intelligence as a technology, generative AI as a technology, AI integrated chatbots, conversational AI as such, in terms of simultaneous use of conversational AI, let's say in a customer support solution or what have you. These are ones that is going to drive a significant adoption of CRM solutions over the years to come. I think they will, AI integrated chatbots have been successfully incorporated. Just that chatbot market size is expected to reach about 1.25 billion just in the next couple of years, like let's say by 2025. Just that chatbot market size would be 1.25 billion, right? So significant adoption is expected to happen from us, from that technology perspective that will drive these CRM solutions. Right? That is one aspect of it, is artificial intelligence and associated technologies. I think the second change or evolution that you will see is greater emphasis on omni-channel engagement. When I say omni-channel, the channel is incredibly important in CRM solutions, right? It's the channel in which the customers receive any communication that you're, essentially offering them, or you're sending information into. And that ability to be able to send it in any channel that is preferred by a customer in real time will evolve a lot, right? With customers using such a wide range of channels to interact with businesses, I think that will be front and center, right? I think I talked a little bit about IoT. I think you will see increased and influenced, by IoT in the coming days. The CRM solutions being influenced by IoT in the coming days. I think there are, billions of internet connected devices connected to IoT as a network, and there is collection of that data, which allows companies to be able to mine that data, monitor, and it allows even the customers to monitor and manage their own aspects of things too, right? So there is bi-directional adoption that can actually drive. Last but not least, of course, automation is always there, which is a critical aspect of any management software for that matter, right? I think that'll continue to impact CRM. Those are probably four major areas. Some of the other, I would say, areas that can also impact is I talked about AI, but in the context of CRM, I think predictive analytics and natural language processing will have a significant impact, mainly because it is looking at the data, and there is capability in the algorithms to be able to understand the data, to be able to build certain models that can determine and predict what the customer action is going to be, and build the communications or offerings based on that for it to be more successful or having more chances of being successful, right? I think that is probably going to drive as well. That you will see evolve over the next few years. I don't want to forget things about customer data privacy and security. I think that's another big evolution that you will see. There has been quite a bit of focus, I should say, in customer data privacy and security, because CRM solutions actually host customer data. And it is incredibly important, and the responsibility of the companies that own these CRM solutions, if they're hosting that data, to be very responsible about data privacy and security. So that will continue to drive the adoption, of CRM solutions, whether to comply with the regulations like GDPR and other regulations, so what have you, across various different regions of the world, or to be able to manage data privacy with respect to whether it is PII data that they deal with or what have you. Those things will actually have to be top of mind and evolve. In terms of what we will see in the next few years to come. I think the next 3 to 5 years will be a huge change based on some of the adoption of these technologies and phenomena that are happening in the market as such in the landscape for CRM.